What's up, everybody? This is Luke with another episode of Owls TV, and today we are going to be talking about some of the negative effects of Delta-9. Can be a very, very touchy subject for a lot of people, and there's often a lot of people doing the positive and negative effects of Delta-8, but I don't see people really talking about Delta-9, and I think it's important for us to discuss this. And one thing that I think is definitely apparent is that the people who love to smoke marijuana a lot are often really angry people, and really the reason that I believe that is the case is because of the fact that marijuana, I gotta stop saying that, cannabis is often used as a way to deal with your emotions. And so I get super angry, I just need to go whatever it is, right? I need to go have a drink, or in most people's cases, if you smoke, you're not going to take a drink. You're going to say, hey, I need to smoke a joint or whatever that is. And then you smoke your joint and you go, oh, God, I don't know why I was so angry. That's all I needed. I just needed a joint. And so get back to, you're up here and it brings you back down here. And but the thing is that the bottle's just being capped, right? It's like pressure. Okay, marijuana, cannabis will help to relieve a little bit of that pressure, but the underlying issue hasn't really been dealt with, which is feeling your emotions and being able to ground your emotions. And so what happens is that there ends up being this repeat snowball effect of, I don't deal with my emotions, so I smoke. When I smoke, if I don't smoke and I'm feeling angry, then I'm gonna lose my cool. And that's literally often what happens, right? You'll for some reason, there's something comes up and it's like, flip the table type of, this is ridiculous. And you're like, whoa, that was pretty intense. You need to maybe ground yourself or not smoke, because this smoking can definitely just act as a band-aid, and it doesn't actually deal with the underlying issue. And the underlying issue is you need to be able to feel your emotions. You need to be in control of your emotions and not let your emotions control you. So that was one thing that I definitely realized. The second one is dreams. You don't have dreams. If any of you, and I know this because I was a pretty long-term cannabis user for a lot of my teenage years and even into my early 20s, late 20s even, I was a pretty heavy cannabis user. And the one thing I'll tell you is, especially if you smoke in the evening, you just don't have dreams. And I'm not sure why that is the case. Obviously cannabis reduces your short-term memory, so maybe there's something there that happens, but you definitely don't have dreams. And I think the dreams are very important, and if we didn't need them, we wouldn't have them, right? So not having dreams, I think, again, dreams are something that can often tell you about yourself. If you're having nightmares, you're having all of these I don't want to call it horrible, but if you're having dreams that you are causing you to think about yourself, obviously that can show you something about you. When you don't have dreams, well, there's no reflection, so you don't get to observe yourself. So that was definitely number two. I think number three is this trap that cannabis can give you, which is this illusion of everything's cool, everything's chill. And that really turns into you being a little too chill and not doing anything. And And so I definitely think that it can act as a demotivator, right? It can completely like you. And again, this has its positive and its negatives, because sometimes you need to take the edge off, but sometimes you really need to turn on, and cannabis can just put you in that place where it's like, oh, it's all cool, I'll leave it till tomorrow. And leaving it till tomorrow, especially if you start at a young age, can very, very quickly turn into, your whole life is just fine, and really what it is that you actually aren't that happy in your life. You utilize cannabis to get by, and you are frustrated, but rather than dealing with it, coming back to point number one, you aren't really looking at that, and you're just using it as a blanket, and so you just become pretty demotivated, and what you want from life can often just become very small. And I think that is a very big negative effect, because the question then comes in is, if people were not utilizing cannabis, would they achieve more? So I know there's a hell of a lot of people out there who are probably like, I used cannabis my whole entire college life and I did X, Y, Z. Sure. And there's certainly going to be outliers. There's always going to be people that utilize cannabis to function every day and do so wonderfully every day. And all I can say is that certainly wasn't me. I can talk about, there's a lot of people that I can think about that have utilized cannabis throughout their lives, and the question comes in is that would there be a bigger drive to do more if you weren't smoking all the time? So that's that one. Number 4 is, again, could be a positive, could be a negative here, but again, depending on your perspective, but really I find that you can eat far more junk. You just crave sugar, right? It's like you crave shitty foods. I don't know if that makes sense, but for a lot of people, maybe I'm wrong here, but the munchies, that's what we call it back in Ireland. I mean, when you go for the munchies, I'm not going like, hey, I want to grab a salad, right? Like, I'm going, give me some Skittles, give me some M&M, peanuts, let's get some pizza, get us a Coke while you're at it. And it's just like sitting there, watching the TV, chilling out, and just like putting a lot of junk in my body. And I definitely think that is a negative to it, because it's not something that's really good for your body. And maybe I'm off here, tell me if I'm wrong, but that is definitely something that I feel can have a negative side effect. At the same time, though, if you had chemo and you couldn't eat, of course, that would be a benefit. But I'm talking about this from somebody who doesn't really have any illnesses. I suppose that should be the pretense of this whole thing. For someone who isn't ill, this is who I'm talking about, right? It's like it's not like, hey, I'm using this because I need to eat food. You're using it because whatever, you want to chill and hang out, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I ate a lot of food and junk food, really. And I'm only talking from personal experience, so if you think I'm off on that, let me know. And then the next thing I would say is that there's definitely a big stone over, like the equivalent of a hangover. I always notice that with Delta-9, not with Delta-8. I can't get out of bed. It is very hard to get out of bed, especially if you've been smoking late into the night. And I know that is something where it's like, I just cannot get up. And I think that is definitely a downside to it, because you definitely become much more lethargic, and you just want to I just want to stay in bed. Give me 5 minutes. Give me another 5 minutes. No, not the alarm clock now. And that is for me, that is definitely a big factor in why I choose to use Delta-8 over Delta-9, because of that, because I get up in the morning no problem with Delta-8, whereas Delta-9, I'm definitely definitely a couch potato. What else is there? Any others I'm wondering for D9? I think that's really about it. You know, I think that's it. I mean, smoking it. The fact that I think as adolescents, it is something that younger people can utilize because it is available on the black market, and I think that with legalization that can improve. But I think that that's sort of a first choice, probably better than alcohol. Again, I'm only speaking from, I loved alcohol, I loved cannabis, and I think that I certainly question. I don't think that you should be utilizing cannabinoids that are psychoactive that can change your brain chemistry when it's developing. Right? It's like your brain is growing in a certain way, and then you like add something else to it, and your brain sort of like, you know, makes a switch, right? Where if it doesn't have that, maybe that doesn't happen. So that's definitely something is that I think it can be utilized by teens, and I don't think that that's good for developing brains. I should probably do positives on marijuana, on cannabis now. I'm getting better. I'm like halfway there on cannabis as well, because I do know that it has a hell of a lot of benefits too. I'm not a naysayer. I'm not against cannabis, right? I'm for all cannabinoids, right? I'm for all cannabinoids. I definitely think that there's far more to this than just Delta-9 or THCA. So just wanted to share that with you. Let me know what you thought. Am I completely off here, or do you think that there's some synergies with what I'm saying and that you agree with it? So let us know in the comments. Always love the feedback, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this week's video. If you like the content and want to see more, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with every new video as they're released. And don't forget to leave a comment if you want to be entered into our weekly giveaway to get some Al's products. Congratulations to this week's winner. Please make sure to reach out to us on Instagram to claim your prize. Thanks again for watching, everybody. See you next week.